Okay, last episode of 2024.
This is it. Hi, everyone. Check out the new set.
Ta-da!
So apparently she took my propeller. She hung it on the wall. I can't do the thing.
We're going to get you like a fidget spinner, like some toys for people with ADHD.
Really?
I think it would be really good for you.
You guys like my socks?
Yeah, what do your socks say? Don't disturb. I'm gaming.
There you go.
Nice. Well, last of 2024, like we said, this has been a really great year.
It has been.
Great year for Father Knows. A lot of community. A lot of community here. We've had a little bit of growth.
We had a lot of fun.
It's been fun.
We really thank all of you for coming to the shows, and the ones that only listen to Dad on podcasts that you recognize my voice. That was really kind of a mind blow for me, and I enjoyed that. And I love meeting everybody. And the ones of you that recognize me, because you do watch the YouTube, thank you again for saying hi. It was wonderful. You guys warmed my heart this year, and I thank you all for being a part of the family.
That all being said, today's theme is resolutions. You know, we're kind of wrapping up the year, and I just did a theme about things we are leaving in 2024. And I think based on a lot of these stories, they're things that should be sorted, and you should move forward into the new year with a resolution of some sort. Yeah.
Start your year and go for a living life.
Start off on a good foot.
Yeah. Leave all the ick behind.
Yeah.
Don't bring the ick with you.
No ick in 2025.
No. So my New Year's resolution is go forward and get rid of the ick.
Oh, okay.
No ick.
Well, let's get into these.
Okay. Let's go. Get rid of the ick. Number one. What do we got?
Hey, FKS fam. I heard you were looking for holiday stories, and I have a big problem as the holidays approach. I'm a 24 female with 5 older siblings. All of them, except one, are married with kids. The one that isn't married just moved out of the country for work. Now, on to my problem.
Okay.
I have nowhere to go for the holidays. As the youngest, I'm the only one who just isn't at that point in my life, and it's hard because while older ones were my age, I was still believing in Santa. I have nowhere to go for Christmas. As the youngest, I'm the only one who just isn't at that point in my life. It's hard because when the older ones were my age, I was still believing in Santa, and they got to come home to the holiday magic. Now it feels like I've been left in the dust to figure out things for myself. The past couple Christmases, I went to my long-term boyfriend's family, but we recently broke up, which is just making me feel even more alone. Any ideas on what to do or ways to feel less alone?
Trying to understand how come she doesn't want why she's not invited to any of her siblings.
Well, let's read the ideal outcome and additional info. Maybe we'll get a little more.
Okay.
Ideal outcome, I want somewhere to go for the holidays that keeps the spirit of Christmas alive. I also want to still be connected to my family without them moving on to their own lives before I'm old enough to even catch up. I want kids one day, but it feels like by the time I have them, their kids will be much older and they'll still be at a different place in life. Additional info, my mom is probably going to be with my sister, who is 2 years older than me, and she has 2 kids. I think they would be okay if I joined, but they're hard to be around because they are very religious and have opposite political beliefs, and that tends to be all they are able to talk about. The only sibling I feel closest enough to spend the holidays with has a newborn due right around Christmas. Also, my father passed away when I was 16.
So out of the 5 siblings, they're really not going to be options for her. She feels more uncomfortable going there.
Honestly, though, I think this is where you need to branch out a little bit. Maybe get out of your comfort zone. I think, you talk about the magic of Christmas. I don't know, there's nothing more magical than being around little kids and seeing them excited for Santa to come. And I think you could really create a sense of magic this year if, you asked, hey, can I come over? Can I join?
Yeah. And bring gifts for the niece and nephews.
Yeah, bring a little something.
I mean, it's connecting and being with family.
Yeah. And
I
it can be
mean-
awkward asking to come over. Like, it's a bit annoying that no one's invited.
Yeah. I'm just trying to understand this.
Like that kind of pisses me off. Like no one's invited her. And maybe the mom and the sister have, but it's not coming across that way. So that's where I'm kind of like, ew, like annoyed. But I think pick the one you would want to spend time with and go. And your sister might not have her baby by then, you can help and hang out.
And I'm imagining she doesn't have any friends because she's not mentioned any friends even to go over.
No mention of friends, but maybe didn't care to include because friends are busy.
It's Christmas. I cannot imagine if you have anyone that's special in your life or friend that would say not to come over if you said, gee, can I join you for Christmas? I have nowhere to go. That they would say, my God, it's Christmas. Of course we
Come
want
on
you.
over.
I mean, I can't imagine anyone not saying that.
And I think that's just the hard part is putting yourself out there, asking. I mean, it's hard when you feel alone because if you're anything like me, when I feel alone and I get bummed out, I recede into myself even more. I really shut down and I just don't even have the motivation to engage with people because I do feel so low and lonely. And you could be in that boat. But I will say, you will feel so much better if you just put yourself out there and ask, or, even if you came up with like an excuse where you're like, hey, you guys, like, I really want to do a new tradition this year. Do you guys want to bake cookies with me Christmas Eve? And you kind of take that initiative to bring something up, an activity or.
And start in your own home.
I mean, something, or say, hey, I'll bring all the supplies over. Do you guys want to bake cookies? I think it would be really fun for the kids.
Christmas Mass.
I mean,
my God, go to Christmas church. They're going to have our whole service. There are going to be people with fellowship. There's going to be cookies and stuff afterwards. I cannot imagine not to go start something where you're going to find community.
I think it's hard if you're not religious, feeling like you're welcome at places like that. But I will say, I think even if you're not religious and you want some beautiful singing and, whatever, pick one of the bigger churches in your area and go. Like there are so many people that are what you call Creaster or
just the spirit
Eastmas. They only show up on Easter and Christmas.
Yeah.
You'd be good.
There's going to be some amazing stuff out there. I just can't imagine there's not.
I would say put yourself out there, and it's normal to feel alone. I think the holidays bring up a lot of hard feelings for a lot of people. And it's just not fun, but it could get turned around for you if you put yourself out there. We talked about this recently, Justin and I, and we are kind of in this like rejection therapy mode. Him mostly because I really push him and I'm like, go ask, go try to return this, blah, 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 blah. But ask, like more often than not, you're going to get a yes from someone. And is it scary? Yeah. Does it feel awkward? Yeah. But it's good to ask.
I got a great one. Carol,
Okay.
go find out who's caroling. Go join a group of people that are going out doing caroling. I mean, that would be.
If you like to sing, yeah, that would be really fun.
It could be a lot of fun.
It
Even
could
if
be
you
good.
can't sing, go do it.
Or, volunteer, offer to, ring a bell for Salvation Army or, there's so many
Stuff in a hospital.
hospitals.
Well, they
are
might, but they might
big.
do a lot of vetting, so you have to probably go early and look into it.
Yeah, depends on the area. I also think there's a lot of like Christmas meals that could be good, even if you're not volunteering at it. Like, go and get a meal and have some
Community.
fellowship with people.
Go to Google. I'm saying Google will have it.
Don't feel alone. Don't limit yourself because you are scared or you feel awkward to ask. Like, your family loves you. You have a lot of siblings. And, dealing with religion and politics that aren't up your alley can kind of suck. But maybe they can ignore it, or you can just bury your head in the sand a little bit and spend some time with your family.
I agree. Okay, so that was a great one.
Moving on.
Let's go to number 2.
Number 2, hello THT and FKS fam. I love both podcasts. Okay, so last weekend was my husband's family's Christmas party. My husband is the fun uncle for all the nieces and nephews. One of our nephews, we'll call him A, kept wanting to wrestle my husband. A is 12 and 5'2", but 160 pounds. When he hits, it hurts.
5'2", 160. Okay.
My husband is 25, 6'3", 240 pounds. All 4 hours of the party, A would run over to my husband and punch, kick, slap, and choke my husband.
Ooh.
My husband told him to stop more than once and told A's mother to control her child 2 different times. After getting hit in the face for about the 20th time, my husband was over it and put my nephew in a chokehold. It was loose, so he could breathe. It was just to restrain him. A's mother started screaming at my husband, and they got into a big fight. They separated, calmed down, and then had a conversation. They worked everything out, and everyone involved was on good terms again. The next day, though, we woke up, and my husband's other sister, not A's mom, posted on the family Facebook page. She told a story about what happened, making my husband out to be the bad guy. She told lie after lie, and it was for grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and basically all family members to see. My husband called and told her to take the post down, but she said no. And my husband just hung up on her. My husband told me we're cutting her out completely. She always stirs the pot and makes drama. So here is my question. How do I support my husband while we cut her out? I've never had to do that before and would like some advice. Ideal outcome, to support my husband and try to help him. Even though cutting her out is the best thing for our family, it is still hurting him to do so. Additional info, this was just the latest thing she tried to pull. Over the past 10 years, every family get-together, she finds a way to attack my husband. We do plan to host dinners to see family that we do still want to engage with.
That's all you can do.
Girl, you got it sorted.
So,
I don't know if you need us.
No, and the only thing that I would tell your husband, because I was that uncle as well.
You got your ass kicked by a 12-year-old?
Well, I had a,
I'm just kidding. I'm in a silly, goofy mood today.
I had a 12-year-old son.
Well, in my head, you know what story I was thinking about?
No.
The towel.
Well, that's not what I did. Besides, I mean, what I really would do to Taylor, to control Taylor, is I would take, or Jonathan, is I would grab their ear.
Oh my gosh. But I think sometimes with kids like this, they do need to learn, mess with the bull, you get the horns. Like, this is uncontrollable for a kid to do. And when you're asking him to stop and he still doesn't stop and the parent doesn't step in, I mean, this is a logical response. And some people might say, no, the kid's 12. He should have removed himself. I don't agree personally. I think that kid needed to FAFO, and he did.
What's FAFO?
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out.
He needed to FAFO a little bit, and he FAFO'd too close to the sun.
There are certain maneuvers that you can do to someone's arm or finger or ear to control them without hurting them, to be catastrophic, but to make them get the message, it's time to stop.
And that's what this felt like. I think everything you're doing in regards to this family member is perfect. Cut her out. She's continuously causing drama, and just invite people over that you want to engage with.
Mm-hmm.
I would add one thing. If you're around this child again and he's acting like this again, start recording. Record everything. So then if there's any issues and people are like, well, why did you do that? This is the behavior we had to deal with. And people want to post about you on a family Facebook page. Upload the videos of this kid being a terrorist on the family Facebook page. Like, sometimes parents need a dose of reality because I think they go a little, like, you know how people go nose blind to smells? Parents go kid blind. They just are so used to that behavior that it doesn't register.
They've enabled the problem.
Yeah. And, this is something that needs to get nipped in the bud.
I agree.
Yeah. Any other tips? Any tricks?
Well, that was my trick. My trick is there's certain little things that you can do that you can, let's say you got to chill it out a little bit, and you apply a little pressure and they stop very quickly. I mean, Taylor is 5'11", and
he's a tall kid.
He's a tall kid, and let me tell you, I'm 5'5" now.
He still eggs you on,
but I still control him. I still do these little bit, and it's not that he really couldn't kill me if he wanted to.
He could,
but the thing is that when you go to that little maneuver, he knows it, and he's like, ow.
Do you have any tips, like for someone who is trying to support their partner or friend when they're cutting someone off? I mean, I think she's doing everything she can. You just got to respect that he wants to do it.
I think in any relationship, you have to support you. Don't tell them what to do. You can certainly offer an opinion what your thought is, but you must say you must do what you feel you have to do and support whatever they're going to do and be there for them.
Mm-hmm.
You do. You have to do that, because one of the reasons why you love them is because they have their own way of thinking. And I mean, as a partner, you certainly want to share your thought, but you certainly can't hold them hostage if they don't listen to your advice.
No, and I think this person sounds very supportive, and I think you're on the right track.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next, number 3.
One of this week's partners is Rosetta Stone. I don't know about you, but I am so excited for the new year. And while 2024 has been good, I haven't gone as far as I want to with my language learning journey, which is where Rosetta Stone is going to come in. Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program, available on desktop or as an app, and it's truly going to immerse you in the language you want to learn. I'm super excited to try Rosetta Stone this year because it actually gives you the proficiency in the language and the cultural context you need to be able to travel to a place and really participate with the people and the culture. Rosetta Stone has been the trusted expert for 30 years. I also think the value you get with Rosetta Stone is unmatched. The lifetime membership has all 25 languages. So if you want to try for yourself, start the new year off with a resolution you can reach. Today, Father Knows Something listeners can take advantage of this New Year's special of Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership. Visit www.rosettastone.com/FKS. That's unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your New Year's offer at www.rosettastone.com/FKS today. Number 3. I will say though, friends, this one could use a bit of a trigger warning. It does describe a somewhat unhealthy relationship. This is just from me skimming. Haven't read it fully, but if you feel like you can't handle that today, please skip ahead. Hi, FKS family. I need advice / words of wisdom on how to tell my 24 female fiance, 26 male, that I'm moving back to my hometown with or without him. Please bear with me. I'm not the best storyteller. When my fiance and I first got together, he moved up to my hometown and stayed with me after I became pregnant. We lived there for a year before he grew homesick and wanted to move closer to his family and see them more often. Since moving down here 2 years ago, our relationship has been on some very sketchy rocks. His drinking problem became a big issue in our relationship. At some point, he got drunk, yelled at me to leave, and he broke some things. I've had to call the cops twice because it was very scary. He voluntarily agreed to be admitted for a 94-hour psychiatric hold at our local hospital. Since then, I've wanted to move back to my hometown to be closer to my family and my support system. My future in-laws are a great support system, but they all live 1 hour plus away. And we only see them at most once every couple of months. If I moved back home, I would see my family almost daily. I want to stay with my partner, but at the same time, I want to protect our son and myself by moving back home and leaving him. How should I go about all of this hot mess without making it a hotter mess?
Well, it sounds like you really do want to take a time out away from this and let him figure it out. And you definitely want to have support because if you're going to be single, you want to be back by your parents. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit more info, okay?
Oh, you were holding back.
Just a touch.
I don't understand why.
Ideal outcome: staying with my partner, but being happy where I am at in life and physically. Additional info: I have caught him flirting with other women on his phone, and we don't always agree on a lot of things, usually sparking some minor arguments.
I think it's time you go home. I don't even think this is a question. He definitely is got some issues going on in his head, and his priority right now is not his relationship with you. And so I think just for your own dignity and self-respect, go be your own person
Yeah.
and let him figure out what it is where you're not around. And either he straightens himself out, gets help, comes back and is able to make it work with you, or he doesn't. And either way, you win. You're not going to win sticking in the situation the way it is and enabling the behavior and saying it's okay to flirt, because all that does is when you fight, even though you haven't left, it's still telling them it's okay.
It's hard, right? Because it's hard to leave. You might feel like he needs your help. You might feel the need to stay because you share a kid together. But I mean, no matter what the reason is, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, I don't see any reason good enough to stay right now.
You're not helping him.
You're inching towards a slippery, slippery path. And I would already say that this is an abusive relationship.
Yeah. No,
It's definitely not healthy.
This needs to, you need to go be away from it and on your own. I mean, and I'm saying, even if you're going home to your parents and you're living in that environment, you're still away from this and you will be healthier. Got to get healthy. Yourself, you got to get healthy. Healthy does not stand for this.
Yeah. And I will say, if this is to a point where it's so scary, you've had to call the police twice, this isn't a situation to stay for the kid. This isn't a situation that you want your kid to witness. Little kids, their brains are in such crucial developmental times, and children who witness things like this, they can develop mental health problems. I mean, there's a lot of implications at this. So the healthiest thing to do for your kid is honestly to move home.
Yeah.
I just I don't care how good of a dad he can be. He's not a good partner to you.
Don't excuse
He's having
it.
emotional affairs.
Don't make excuses.
Cheating. You just go home and be with your support system and be with your family. And he needs to work on himself. He needs to address his alcohol, get some therapy, and then reevaluate. But I honestly don't know if I would give him the option to even come with you.
Morgan, she knows the answer. That's why she
I
wrote
know.
this. You already know the answer. You know what to do. You don't even have to ask us.
It's hard to leave, though. It's very hard.
This is the most important thing that you can do right now. This is your only option. No
and
other
you're
option.
24. You're in the prime of your life.
Go home and let him wake up. If
You
it wakes
deserve
him up,
better.
if it wakes up and he's
Completely.
able to come back and be the man that you really want, great. And if he can't, then it's easy. You're already home. Go move on. You guys say we're done.
Yeah,
Time to move on.
absolutely. But please keep us posted. Again, if we read your story, this goes for any of our listeners. If we read your story, please go to the link in all the episode descriptions. There is a separate link specifically for updates, so we don't lose them. But everyone, keep us posted if we've read your story. Another one of this week's partners is Dipsy. Holidays can be stressful, and sometimes we forget we need to prioritize ourselves and practice a little me time. So if you're looking for a break from doom scrolling, dealing with your in-laws, or maybe you just finished ACOTAR and you're like, I need more, Dipsy is going to be something you want to check out. Dipsy has over 1,000 spicy audiobooks, all crafted by a team of professional writers and top-tier narrators. These are bite-sized stories that get you right to the good part, so you can really get captivated by that romance if you need a break, or tune in with a partner if you really want to spice things up. And they have everything you're looking for, from a rugged cowboy to a Scottish sailor. You name it, Dipsy is going to have whatever vibe you're looking for. And my favorite part, their app is super easy to explore. And if you type a couple keywords on Dipsy's search bar, they give you stories that match what you're looking for. And you'll never get bored because new chapters are released every week. For listeners of the show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/FKS. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to dipseastories.com/FKS. dipsystories.com/FKS. Moving on to number 4.
Yeah.
Hello, Jerry, Morgan, and Justin. I'm a new listener and love listening to both podcasts while driving to work. I, 19 female, want to cordially move out of my parents' house without ruining my relationship with my mom and 3 siblings. Ever since I turned 17 and I could drive, my stepdad, whenever we got into an argument, has said that I am free to leave whenever I want. However, I don't feel like I can move out whenever I want. I take my youngest sister to daycare 4 out of 5 days she goes. Sometimes, if my mom needs it, I'll pick her up from daycare too. If I move out, no one can take her to daycare. I also feel that if I were to move out, my stepdad would want to take anything he's ever bought for me away from me. My main concern is that he's the one who purchased my car. I say my because even though I pay for maintenance, taxes, and insurance for the vehicle, it isn't in my name. My stepdad and I have gotten into many verbal arguments about all of the things I do wrong on a day-to-day basis, many of which have left me crying in my room, wishing that I didn't live here. I've had so many thoughts about packing my bags and moving out without saying anything, but I still want to be there for my mom and siblings without my stepdad being involved. Thank you. If you guys do read this, I appreciate any advice. Ideal outcome: I really want to move out, but I don't want to ruin my relationship with my mom and siblings. Additional info: my stepdad also says that moving out and purchasing my own vehicle would be fiscally irresponsible at my age. Also, I work in construction and my job site is almost an hour's drive away. I want to move closer to work to save myself from spending so much time in my car.
And fuel costs. And wear and tear in your car.
And
tires.
Mental health.
And is that an important thing?
I think that's top of the list.
Okay.
Are we right, guys?
I think so. I think you should really sit down with them and say, this is where I work. I think that with all this which going on, I think it is time that I move out. And I hope I can have it with your support and your blessing. I know that there are things I do around this place, but living that I'm going to be an hour away, obviously things are going to have to change, and you guys are going to have to figure out how to take your children to school, how you're going to pick up your children, because I'm working. I have a job. I have my own responsibilities. And I think that's what you do. I think it's the healthiest thing to take that leap and go start living on your own and get a roommate or whatever it might be.
It's time.
In that part of town, and give it a shot.
And I would not give any other reason but work.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I love you. I love being able to help out, but driving an hour for work,
each way,
it's really taken its toll on me, and I'm wasting so much money. And I do want to be fiscally responsible, so I think I'm going to find a roommate and move a little closer to work. If you then get told, well, you're not taking the car, you could offer to buy the car. You could say, hey, I understand it's your car, your name's on the title. Would I be able to buy it from you? Can I come up with a payment plan and I buy the car from you? Would that be okay? If he says no,
There are cars out there.
There's cars out there.
They're bought and sold every day.
If you work in construction, I'm hoping you have a really good gig and you do have the ability to get a car payment. You know, when I heard the stepdad saying, well, it'd be fiscally irresponsible. You're 19, you're working construction, you have a stable, good job. I think that was more of a control tactic, to be honest.
Yeah, he's control and manipulative.
It's not necessarily bad advice, but I think it's advice with an ulterior motive. And at the end of the day, like, you really do need to prioritize your mental health and get out of there. Start building your life. And like you said, as much as you love your siblings and love helping your mom,
their children,
you don't need to step up and fill that role
their children
so much.
I'm so glad I was able to help with the house and the family with your children, but
yeah,
you know, my siblings, your children, it's a different responsibility level.
I don't think you need to have that conversation though. Start and just blame it on work. But I think parentification affects a lot of our listeners. You know, there's a fine line of being a functioning member of a family and helping out where and when and as you can versus you're raising your siblings. And this is something that comes up a lot, and it's hard. It's very challenging. You know, I felt like I raised my little brother, Taylor. I felt like I raised him my junior and senior year of high school.
Where mom wasn't around.
Yeah. You were out here in California. She was, you know, working up north. So it was literally me and Taylor at home alone all the time.
And you calling me saying, call me in sick?
Yeah, I didn't want to go to school. No. But move out. 2025 is your year, baby.
All right.
Okay. Let's move on to number
5.
5?
That's it.
Already?
We're here.
Hi, everyone. I've been a longtime listener for the past 2 years and listen every week on my way to work or when I'm doing chores around the house. I, 25 female, am currently in the happiest and healthiest relationship that I've ever been in.
I love that.
My boyfriend, 26 male, is so kind, patient, makes me laugh, and constantly spoils me. During my busiest week of work this year, where I was working 16 hours a day, he went into my apartment and deep cleaned it fully as a surprise. I ugly sobbed for about 20 minutes. It was the nicest thing someone had ever done for me. To say I have been terrorized by men in my past is an understatement. My most recent ex actually hid his wife from me. My ex before that cheated on me with my ex-best friend. My ex before that gave me an STI. It could go on and on. Now, back to my current boyfriend.
Yeah, let's go back to him. I like him.
We have now been dating almost a year and have been talking about our next steps moving in together. I know I love this man and that I want to be with him forever. But when I am away from him, I start to overthink every possible thing that could possibly go wrong. It makes me nervous to take this next step. Again, he's never done anything to make me doubt him or his love, and I'm worried if this is a massive mistake from past trauma. I guess I'm just looking for confirmation that I'm not the only one that has ever felt this way. Any advice or antidotes would be great. Ideal outcome, knowing that the jitters are normal.
Counseling.
Yeah, I think therapy would be great. I'm curious if you've ever taken an attachment styles quiz and kind of seen what your attachment style is, if it's anxious or, you know, avoidant or things like that. It could help kind of understand your feelings, but I think it is normal. I think based on your past, you know, relationship trauma, you and your radar, as you say, aren't the most in tune. So even when you get this healthy, good relationship, you're kind of sitting there always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah. So I do think this is normal. And as you build your life with this person and focus on yourself, healing, being more confident, being more secure, you will grow into a better attachment style.
I really do think that, though, some counseling right now for yourself, because of the other experiences that you had, and share that with someone that could, give you some good insights and help you with that, wouldn't be bad. It certainly wouldn't hurt you. It would only help and try to give you a little better sense of security with the relationship on how you're picking this person versus the other people that you pick. I would read the comments also that people are going to kick in on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I myself was kind of this person. I think I was a little self-sabotagey when I first started dating Justin because he was the first nice guy and wasn't necessarily my type. And so I was like, well, is this, do I like him? And the more I got to know him, the more I really did realize, like, yeah, this is a gem. I have nothing to worry about. And I think that comes with time.
Mm-hmm.
But it does also help to evaluate past relationships and kind of realize, yeah, my current partner is so different. And, I did fall into the past relationship trap, but this is different. This person loves me. This person cherishes me. And I think his actions are really proving that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for our show, Miss Morgan.
Excuse me? Don't speak too soon, buddy boy.
Yeah, number 6?
We got number 6.
Whoa, guys.
Whoa.
She's got number 6. Let's stop me in the track.
Whoa.
Bring it on down. Number 6.
Number 6. Hi.
That's what I said.
When I heard Morgan ask for spooky submissions, I had to write this in. It's more of a wholesome spooky story that happened back in 2022. I'll start with a few key details. I live in a cold area. The winters are frigid and icy.
Is it Duluth, Minnesota?
It sounds like home to me. December to February are usually the coldest months with temperatures around -30 Celsius. I grew up in a house with only a few small heaters, and our main source of heat was, and still is, an iron wood burning stove. It usually takes about 30 minutes to start a good fire that will heat up the house for hours. I live in the same house that I grew up in with my dad and granddad. In February of 2022, my granddad passed away. My dad and I were devastated, but he had been sick for a while, so we knew it was coming. I know it sounds harsh, but my dad had a weird thing with death and wanted the body out of the house as soon as possible. So the same morning that my granddad died, we called the morgue to retrieve his body and immediately started to arrange a wake/funeral. It's customary in our culture to share a meal with the entire family after the funeral procession.
Mm-hmm.
Following 2 days were full of shopping to prepare for the meal. The day before the funeral was icy, snowy, -28 degrees, and so windy that a few places around us lost power. And so I wasn't able to shop for the supplies that I needed. At around 6 p.m., my boyfriend and I made a fire to keep the house warm and went to sleep. Super early, I know. Grief is weird. I planned to shop for the supplies early in the morning before the funeral. When my alarm went off at 6 a.m., my boyfriend insisted that I go back to sleep while he did the shopping. I obliged, and he asked, "It's really cold. Do you want me to start the fire before I go?" I said no, that I would grab an extra blanket for now and start the fire when I got up in about an hour. 2 hours go by, and I wake up sweating. I had thrown the blankets on the floor and taken my pajamas off because it was so hot in our house. The heat made me extra comfortable, and I was finally able to get some good, refreshing sleep. When my boyfriend got home, he asked if I had any trouble making the fire this morning. I said, quote, "No, you started it before you left for shopping, and it stayed going ever since." The expression on his face immediately dropped, and he said, quote, "I didn't start the fire before I left. You said you would be okay." Our Ring doorbell only showed my boyfriend leaving the house at 6:10 a.m. There is no way he would have had time to make a fire in under 10 minutes.
Grandpa
was keeping that place warm.
Somebody
That's
warmed
cute.
it up.
That's cute. I know how all of us love our spooky stories, so we feel like we needed to cap the year with another one, and a wholesome one
That was a good one.
at that. I know.
A good one.
I know.
I thought that actually she had developed some major fever somehow that got her warm, but
Well, and the boyfriend walking in being like, it's cold in here.
Mhm.
But like, you were just so warm and comfortable. And then like, you ended up like sweating. You had to take his clothes off even.
So the fire was never illuminated.
It wasn't relit. The last time it was lit was before they went to bed at 6 p.m. the night before, which like, that's gone. There's not even embers anymore at that point. That's out.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Okay. Number 7. It is the last one of the year.
I do have a number 7.
And we never get number 7s.
How often is that?
All right.
Rare.
Let her rip.
Hi, FKS. I've been wanting to write in for a while, and now I have something I need advice on. I, 26 female, am getting married in 2026, and I need help on how to handle a friend situation / breakup. I have a friend group from high school in Iowa. Hey, neighbor. That consisted of 7 girls up until recently. 2 of the girls decided that they didn't want to be friends with us anymore and removed themselves from all of our group chats and won't talk to us when we have tried. Fast forward to me getting engaged. They both reached out to congratulate me and said how excited they are for the wedding. It's been about 8 months since they left the friend group, and they haven't checked in at all in that time. I will not be inviting them to the wedding. Do I tell them that? Do I just not say anything and wait for them to figure it out and deal with that when it happens? I'm really sad that it has come to this, but all they will do is start drama with the other girls. Plus, they are extremely judgmental people, and I would be worried about them whispering about me on my wedding day. If they do reach out looking for a fight, what should I say?
You wrote yourself off.
Any thoughts and advice would be great. I hate confrontation.
They wrote themselves out. They disconnected. They pulled the plug. They're done. You owe them nothing.
They left the group chat. I mean, they really said, bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need to say anything, especially if they left the group chat and kind of exited your friendship 8 months ago and
bye.
There hasn't been anything since then.
Say it with me. Bye.
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 Leave them in 2024.
There you go.
Bye.
New Year's resolution. We're rolling up. We're going forward. Getting rid of all the negativity. What are we getting rid of? The yuck.
The yuck. The ick.
The ick.
The ick.
Ick.
Bye, ick.
Bye, ick.
Bye, ick. Bye. And I think that's the case. Also, you're getting married in 2026. You got a whole year. If I didn't talk to someone for basically 2 years, I wouldn't expect to get an invite to their wedding.
Yeah.
I think it'll explain itself if they don't reach out and try to have a relationship with you. It's self-explanatory.
I'm done with this one. These guys are bad news.
No.
Yuck.
Will they talk shit after your wedding that they didn't get invited? Probably.
Well, we also don't. One thing is, we'll see what happens in 2025 if they try to reclaim themselves. They could certainly become. They can return to haunt the nest.
Fences could be mended for sure. For sure. But I don't think you really need to worry about anything. I mean,
no.
It's one of those things that it's kind of sealed its own fate. And when they do say something about not being invited, they just look dumb.
Yeah, just say,
you're not friends anymore.
Say, you guys wrote yourself off. I wasn't going to interrupt your decision. I was respecting you.
Yeah.
End of story.
Ideal outcome would be to have a mature conversation with them about how they cut me out of their lives so they won't be included in my big moments anymore. I just don't want a big fight with tears or yelling.
Nah.
I know a lot of people do want closure. This isn't worth it with them.
It's already closed. It's closed.
Additional info, these 2 girls are very confrontational and headstrong and can never admit when they're wrong. It's always someone else's fault.
I got rid of the ick. They're gone.
They also attended a friend's wedding this year, and we heard they were catty and rude about the bride the whole night. So I just don't want to worry about them there.
Okay. Don't have to worry.
I think, honestly, you are going to feel great a year from now. You're not even going to think about having to not invite them.
I've already forgotten them.
I know. You're ready to go home and go to bed.
I am.
Well, we have to say, Please keep us posted, but do not fret. This is going to be just fine. They wrote themselves out. You're saying goodbye to the ick. Congratulations on your engagement and your soon-to-be wedding.
All good new stuff, positive stuff. Get rid of the ick.
All good things.
Goodbye, ick.
Goodbye, ick.
You got it.
Sounds like a good episode title to me.
Goodbye, ick.
Dad is checking out. Dad is running on fumes right now. But thank you all so much for spending 2024 with us. We would not be here without you all. You are the whole reason we keep going. So thank you. And we're very excited for 2025.
And we love you.
Love you guys.
Night.
Bye.